Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now, and a hey now. Welcome to hour number 2 of the line, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Soon the Artemis crew is going to be prepping for a prepping their cabin for re-entry, which sounds like a prostate exam, but it's not. It's just the astronauts coming back to Earth from a successful trip. Successful. Congratulations, NASA. We were very worried that maybe they might get stuck, but they're not going to get stuck because they've got not only the best leadership in the world with the Trump administration, but we are the most advanced country in the world. We got all the knowledge. We got the big brains in this country and all the technology. So, and we're here to make the world the better place. If you want to get in, 205-545-9950. Don't forget we're live on YouTube. We are live on TikTok as well. You can find me at Andrew Mclain, who on TikTok. We've been doing a lot more TikTok stuff because one, my wife's been pressuring me to build up TikTok, which I've never been interested in doing, and now that I'm doing it, she's quick to remind me that she told me so. And yeah, so hook that up. We'll also found out John Bird and I will be doing a podcast tonight live from the Over the Line studios.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you join us for that. It will be fun and exciting, and I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to tell you to expect. I just want you to hang out with us, and we'll love you a long time for it. Bubba Rumble's on the line. Bubba, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Fun King Friday in the house now.
Hey now.
Woo, baby. Yeah. So, okay, first and foremost, I am calling to beseech myself to the people that I may have offended yesterday and ask for their sincere apology. I callously said that we do not want to hear about the nice comments from the nice people on YouTube, and that was wrong of me. I'll do better.
Wait, why did you say that? I don't remember.
Oh, just talking about commentary, and you were saying that people say nicer things on YouTube than they do on the chat line. And then I callously said that we don't want to hear from the nice people making nice comments on YouTube, but we only want to hear the crude comments from the chat line. And that was wrong of me to say that because the nice people on YouTube are also members of the Hey Now Nation.
They are. And I know they forgive you.
Thank you in advance. And, you know, and when you think about it, their nice comments will help bring balance to the force to counteract all the horrible things we say to you guys on the chat line.
Yeah, that's true. It is, you know, it gets in your head, and it's always, I don't know. It's good to have the balance, but at the same time, when people say, you know, sideways things to you, it does. It's human nature to let it get in your head. But that's only if you are not a trained professional like Bird and I am.
That's right. You guys are monoliths of steel, impermeable to the slings and arrows and insults of humanity.
That's right.
Agreed.
And you know, if anybody's insulting my dudes on the chat line, you know, they better just back off. That's all I could say. Like, the chat line is for insulting the people who want to try to insult Andrew Mandu and Jay Bizzle.
I like that.
All right. So you already answered one of my questions. There will be a podcast tonight. And will it be on Rumble? That's all I'm saying.
Yes, we'll make sure it's on Rumble as well. I got to start. You can tell me this as a Rumble guy. Like, we're posting a lot of ancillary stuff on YouTube, and we're posting reels on other social media sites. Is that the kind of stuff that's worth posting on Rumble? I don't know if people just watch short little videos on Rumble, or are people strictly looking for live streams on there?
Well, I think Rumble is like kind of reinventing itself in real time right now, and the Rumble Premium seems like it just keeps adding better features overall, where now, like, for instance, okay, I already talked about Sleazy P. Martini live streams before, but he is like the king of long-form live streams. He goes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours
Jeez.
twice a week, and it's engaging. He'll keep you there if you're into politically incorrect streams, of course. But now Rumble also has shorts, and I'd like to see that gain some traction on there. And now, as I've been hearing, Rumble Premium, if you run your stream through Rumble Studios, then you can link it to every other platform you can think of. But then all the views count as Rumble views, no matter what platform people are watching on.
Really?
A new revelation in podcasting.
Man, I wish we could recruit. I wish there was a way for Bubba Rumble to remotely handle our account stuff on Rumble and just be able to.
Well, perhaps we can make some arrangement here in the near future, and it would be my pleasure to assist the Over the Line podcast to become the #1 podcast in the world.
Oh my gosh! You know what? It's the Rumble Rep. That's your new name, the Rumble Rep, Bubba Rumble.
Yeah, if you're savvy enough, and I can even give you the information to get in touch with like the people at Rumble to maybe talk to them, because it sounds at the end of the day, and I've always felt this way. Even if you don't have somebody representing you, it always makes you seem more important if you're reaching out for a business thing or looking for an interview or whatever. To have somebody reach out on your behalf and say, "Hey, I'm a representative for Andrew Mclain, host of Over the Line podcast," instead of me reaching out myself. I think.
Well,
I don't know.
wait till they hear my name is Bubba Rumble. I'm going to have them on the first line.
That's
Hello,
right.
This is Bubba Rumble, official press liaison for the Hey Now Nation and the Over the Line podcast.
Well, let's discuss that. I might hit you up over the weekend and see what we can work out.
Sounds good, brother. And yeah, I really think that's an egg you guys should crack, because from what I'm seeing, like Rumble is taking things like, and it's not just a right-leaning platform either. I remember at one point there was some socialist girl that had her stream on there, and of course it didn't do very well, but she was on there promoting socialism with her little Mao revolutionary outfit on and stuff. It's for everybody. And now that they're linking all the other streams and stuff in there, man, I think that's a game changer.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, cool.
Well, okay, dudes. Carry on. Have a great weekend. And hey now.
What do you think about that? You think we should recruit him
What do you think?
and just get him? I don't know how tech savvy he is. I think he's pretty tech savvy.
He's good with words. That's all that matters.
Okay, all right. Good with words. You got the job, Jay. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, I got a very interesting story about La Villa.
Okay.
In '93, I had just graduated high school and went to Club La Villa with a bunch of people. We all went down and stayed at the resort down there, and we went to La Villa one night, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts were playing.
Mm.
Oh, dang.
Joan Jett during the concert, she took my hat off, and I had a Dallas Cowboys hat on, and she took my hat off and put it on. Well, after the concert was over, she found me and put it back on my head, and all. We sat there and talked, and we got to the bar, and it ended up, the next morning, I went back to my hotel room, or to my condo that we were staying in, and that was at La Villa, and that's something I'll never forget. I never really told anybody, and so people don't know my real name and where I'm from or anything. So I never wanted any press about this. I never wanted to know, but I just thought it was just a cool story about La Villa.
Was that so? That was. Oh, that's crazy. Didn't she come out as?
Well, I don't know. I was 18 years old, and I told her that, and it was okay.
You and Joan
I
Jett.
was 18.
And she ended up coming out as lesbian, didn't she?
And I'm from Alabama, so that was a big deal. And the only people that know about it are y'all, everybody listening, and 3 of my closest friends that were with me.
And now she's come out as lesbian, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know, but anyway.
Maybe you just gave it to her, and she said, "You know what? This is everything. It doesn't get no better than this, so I'm gonna go lesbian."
Well, no, it was probably more like, I could do better. So I don't know.
That's wild, dude. That's wild.
I don't have no idea, but I'm just telling you, it was a time of my life, and I don't regret a minute of it, and I don't dwell on it. I never really told anybody else about it much. I had a great time going to Club La Vela. I love that place, Spinnaker's, La Vela. I love them all.
Well, it tells me that you're telling me a true story is the fact that you've never told anybody about it. So,
well, no, I had to tell 3 of my closest friends there, and we're still very, very close.
Yeah.
But I had to tell them because they were like, "Where the hell was you at?" I was like,
I just
"You
shacked up
ain't
with
gonna
Joan
believe
Jett.
if I told you so. Don't believe me. I don't care."
That's wild. All right, Jay, that's a good one,
But,
dude. I appreciate it, man.
All right, brother.
All right,
I love y'all show. I love 99.5. I listen to it every day,
Awesome.
every single day.
Yes.
Awesome.
And that's where I get my news. I don't even watch it anymore. That's where y'all are where I get my news at.
That's it. No need for the news.
I love everything y'all do.
All right, brother. We appreciate you, man.
All right, but all right, y'all be good.
You know what's crazy? I believe him, by the way.
I do too.
What's crazy is we're on TikTok. We're both on TikTok right now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody came in by the name of NYC Subway Rider, and before Jay started telling his story,
Mm-hmm.
that person in our chat typed in Joan Jett right before he mentioned Joan Jett's name. How is that possible?
Was he there?
Was he dressed up like Joan Jett?
That's blowing my mind, man.
I know, dude. That was
That's
weird.
blowing me mind.
That was very weird. All right, so I got to take a break. Let me do that. We'll come back on the other side. I think we're going to have the amazing Damian Mitchell in studio. We'll see if that happens right after this. God, this is right up my man's alley.
Talk about Panama City, baby.
Damian Mitchell in the house.
Hey now. What's happening?
Did you ever visit Club La Vila?
Oh yeah.
Did
Yeah. So that's where Dak Prescott got beat up.
Oh, really?
That was I think it might have been in the parking lot, right? Like the parking lot right outside of there. It may
Why don't I remember that?
Man, I vividly remember. It was
How
right
long
before.
ago was that? Were you there?
No, I was there the week after. Like my their spring break was a week before, and the video leaked out of him getting jumped. And I remember like right before we started spring training, or like after we got done with winter workouts, the last day, Coach G, he told us, he was like, man, y'all be careful down there. Dak Prescott just got beat up. I'm like, bro, we're Division III football players. I don't think we're gonna be a threat. Like I don't think those are the same. But Club La Vila, absolutely. I saw T-Pain in there. Post Malone, I saw him early on down there. There's some party. Hey, I ran into Reuben Foster down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What brought it up is I was watching old, WCW used to go once a year to Club La Vila and do a Monday Night Raw, a Monday Night Nitro, and they would be on the back on the outside where the pool is, and they would have the entrance set up and a walkway that led to the pool where the ring was in the middle of the pool. It was
Really?
on top of the pool.
Oh, that's dope.
And so by the end of the show, wrestlers are getting thrown over the edge into the pool.
That's dope.
And they would do that once a year with every year spring break.
Yeah.
WCW would be in Club La Vila.
Yeah.
And it was just one of the coolest things. And I was looking at some photos. These photos were from 2021, and it's been closed down since 2018 from Hurricane Michael.
Yeah.
They still have the MTV signs up there.
Really?
Like the MTV Tower.
Yeah, I've had some time. I had some times down there, dog.
It was peak like nightclub. There was no other nightclub like it. It was the biggest one in the country.
Yeah.
And for it to be so close to us,
I'm telling you,
it was like an honor. You felt like, even living in Birmingham, you're kind of like, oh, the Club La Vila belongs to us.
Oh, for sure. I got a funny story about Club La Vila. I remember I remember being in Club La Vila. It was the spring break of my freshman year. Me and my boys, we went down. We went down during spring break, and so I mean, my school was closed down, so I can talk about it now. I was playing around with my academics, so I didn't realize that they send, like, I guess you'd say a warning letter to your home. Like they send your
home.
Yeah, like home.
Like to mama?
Yes.
Oh.
So, because I always tell my parents, like, yeah, school's going great. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to, stay above water. Man.
What a bunch of snitches.
I had my midterm, like, they send your midterm grades to your parents. And,
wow.
I remember getting a text message from my mama with a picture of the letter that they sent. And I was in Club La Vila. I'm 50 drinks deep, and I'm like, that's tomorrow's problem. I can deal with that when I get back. But man, yes, Club La Vila. I was single. Yeah, had some fun, man.
You ever talk to Taylor about your Club La Vila days?
I mean, she knows. She knows. Listen, I'm an open book. She knew me in college, so she's like, yeah, that's about par for the course.
Play on, player.
Yeah, I'm single, man. I was a football player. Like,
she's like, I ain't worried about it. I'll hit him up in 10 years. Give him time.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Calm down.
Give me some time. She always, like, she told me she had a little crush on me. She was just like, yeah, he's cute, but man, he's hell on wheels, and I was, boy.
Yeah,
that was the old me though.
That was the old you.
That was the old me.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Again, I think a video prompted me to talk about that, so I started looking into it and who the owners are. I think it would be a fascinating. So first of all, somebody needs to do a documentary of Club La Vila over the years through the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah. But second of all, I would love to go down there with a camera and do a YouTube video touring the abandoned building. Could you imagine
those walls could talk?
If those walls
walls could talk.
Go in there with a black light.
He was like, whoa.
Damn crime scene in there.
It gets wicked. But it was fun, man. Like, because when I say this now, like, I'm about to turn 30 in a couple weeks, man, we knew how to balance. Like, I don't know what's up with this generation nowadays of kids. Like, they just don't have the balance of, like,
That's what we were talking about, is the fact that it was, we were wild and crazy, but it was still there was a sense of safety to it,
Exactly.
and it's not the case anymore.
No, not at all. It's like people go in there with like an agenda or something, like looking for stuff to get into. We would go down there and just party. Like just everybody there is
Everybody's
between the
having fun.
ages of 18 to like 24 at the oldest. And we are just there having a good time. I met people from Texas Tech that were in Club La Vila. When we were going down on the beach, they had a flag out there. They're enjoying spring break. Like that's the point of being down here,
Yeah.
man. But I mean, people that like.
What do you think it is? What do you think has got these generation, this younger early 20s generation, to
think-
be so it's dangerous at the end of the
Right.
day? It's like problems are caused. Is it a mixture of the availability of drugs? Is it guns? Is it narcissism because everybody thinks they're special now?
Yeah, I think that kind of outweighs. I think the narcissistic ways are like the big thing because people don't fear consequences anymore.
Right.
And I think this like the younger generation don't understand like there are consequences to all of your actions.
So many people have parents that are going to bail them out,
Right.
literally and figuratively.
Right. Like that's not how real life is anymore. Like it doesn't always like that. So no, I think
sad.
it's a mixture of a lot of things.
Yeah. And it's depressing because there's so many, and it's always going to be like that. We're always going to look back on things and say, oh my God, the nostalgia of this, that, and the other, and we may remember it as being a lot cooler and a lot better than it actually was.
Right.
We'll never know because we're not going to get those days back.
I'm telling you.
But there are things that we experience that the younger generation doesn't get to experience because they've screwed it up.
Yep.
And that's it's sad. So I'm now shopping for Club La Vila t-shirts. And I think I found one. I'm going to email this to myself. When I find stuff I want to buy on the internet, I just text it to my wife, which, is kind of, I'll text it to her, and then it's kind of like, she don't say anything about it, and then I have to remind her, and then she's like, okay. I was like, can I buy it?
I was just running to buy you real quick.
I always want to make sure that I give her a heads up. We try to be responsible, and we've got a budget and everything, and so I always ask her, and she does the same thing for me. Like, she's like, can I buy this? And I'm like, my answer's always the same. I'm like horrible about being like, no, we don't have the money for it or whatever.
Right. No, I
just say, yeah.
I'm getting to that point.
It's like when we go to Costco, dude. When we go to Costco,
it's always an adventure.
It's not only is it the adventure, it's like, the process of walking through a sea of Indian people or, just not finding a parking spot or whatever. But it's the fact that you feel like you ever have things where you go to a certain place and you're like, I'm not going to be back here for a while, so I need to get what I want to get now.
Yeah.
Even though Costco's not that far away, it's such a hassle to get in and out. You feel like you gotta do it.
It's now or never.
It's now or never. Like, it's almost like you feel like you're never gonna go back. So you go in there to spend, $20 and you leave spending $250.
Right. The biggest issue that I've started to run into with my fiance is impulse buy. I tell her, like, we make a list for a reason. Let's stick to that. Let's. I'm a stickler for it. I'm like, hey, this is what we came in here for.
Yeah.
Let's fight the urges.
Just because I'm Mr. Wheel of Fortune doesn't mean we can just blow a bunch of money.
Man, I'm telling you, even in the past couple of weeks, it's insane how many people have continued to reach out and just like,
and they're still hitting you up about Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, they're like, man, let me hold something. Like, no.
Do you legitimately have people asking you if they can borrow money?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I tell them, like, one, the check hadn't hit my deposit yet, but also no.
That's crazy.
It's funny. It's funny because I've always joked, like, it's the audacity, like, to think that you would actually get it from me, because I've been a penny pincher for a while, so
right.
Don't let it fool you. Like, I have no problem in saying absolutely not.
It's one thing to go to a friend and be like, hey, can I borrow $20 or $30?
Right.
But it's another thing to go to a friend who just won money on a game show
and have the audacity.
It's like you didn't just happen to run out of gas money as I won at Wheel of Fortune.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
It's not a coincidence.
They're like, man, I just need a few dollars to help me out. I'm like, no, no, you weren't asking me. You were not asking me this question 2 weeks ago.
And again, it's not like you won $1 million.
Exactly.
I'm not diminishing it,
exactly.
But you can't even really buy a nice new car.
Right.
I
could have won one, but
I mean, you could take that money and you would still have to finance $20,000 on the car.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So I have no issue of saying absolutely not.
Leave my man alone.
They need to listen. It's a PSA. Like, talk to my wife. Ask my wife before you ask me.
There's a reason he keeps coming back to work, man.
Exactly.
My man.
I love it.
Man just had it's almost as if you just got a really nice tax return this year. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, hey, you had a good year, so.
Yeah. Man, I went to the eye doctor yesterday, and I was talking to my eye doctor about it.
And he's like, your copay is actually $32,000.
Like, it went from, she was just like, oh, so how's your year been? I was like, well, I'm about to hit you with a little bit of information. And I told her that, and she just was like, so much has happened in a year.
Yeah.
I was like, this happened a couple weeks ago. Like, a lot of things have happened. So it was fun, man. But
the doctor's like, can I borrow $20?
Yeah, it was like, my copay still gonna stay the same. Like, my insurance still covers this, right? Man, but it's been cool. It's been cool. I've kind of ridden off the high. Now I'm just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. There was, and I mentioned this to you, and I said this in jest because I didn't actually think that Greg McElroy would come on this show. I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he would, but I figured he probably is not looking to do any more work than he has to while he's here.
Oh, 100%.
But I saw a quote from him online by some sports site that said he mentioned that he doesn't believe that we have been to the moon.
Yeah, 100%.
We've landed on the moon.
And listen, I love G-Mac to death. At first, I thought he was joking.
And was this
did.
something he said last week on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it turned into a whole hour, and it was.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
An hour? Come on, we turned that into 4 hours.
Yeah,
over here.
we turned into an hour, and again, in hindsight, I cannot believe like this is the traction that we're getting. Like we were getting articles sent. Like did Greg actually say this? I was like, yeah, he legitimately believes this. And we had a conversation about it, and his whole argument is, well, if we did it back in 1969, why haven't we continued to go back? If the technology, he always goes back to the technology during that time. He's very skeptical of how you can go to the moon in that situation. And there are people, and I'm not going to say it's a majority, but there are some people that believe that. And I was
There's
like,
a lot of people.
I was like, okay, like.
And
again,
I mean, even John Berg and I have our questions about it.
Right. And that's what he was kind of leaning into of just question. Think of where America was in 1969. It leaves some gray area. And
It's almost like he's been listening to this show.
And I told him, I was like, listen, man, I took American history growing up. All I know is what they tell me. I didn't ask any questions. If anybody asked, I'm like, yeah, we landed on the moon.
Do you think it's possible that over time, the people that are in charge of the history books may have rewritten history a bit?
Listen, man.
Not like completely outright lied about everything, but I mean, there's a good possibility that history is embellished.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think about a lot of things like that, though. But like listen, I've seen National Treasure. I've seen somebody try to steal the Declaration of Independence. So I'm kind of like, if you could think about that and make a movie out of it, there's no telling what I've been told.
But sometimes, honestly, in Hollywood, which was kind of propped up by the CIA, Hollywood will ultimately make movies to make things seem unquestionable. For instance, they will do something like there's something called MK Ultra, which it was back in the 70s, was a mind control program that the government was using with like LSD and stuff like that. And they'd put you on these hallucinogenics, and then they would make you listen to these sounds and stuff. And it was literal like mind control. And then they claimed they scrapped it and that they don't use it anymore. They're like, we're totally not, messing around with mind control. And then Hollywood starts putting out movies like Zoolander.
Oh, yeah.
That will be about mind control. So people will say, when the topic of does the government have the capability of mind control, people automatically say to themselves, well, no, that's just that's the kind of stuff you see in movies. That's not real. Man. And so we don't know. Now, John Bird, where do you, and you've gone back and forth.
I have.
You say you do believe in the moon landing.
Yes, I do.
Because you watched it on TV.
Yep. I was sitting there with my Major Matt Mason, little astronaut, watching it.
But do you think that with some of the questions when it comes to the moon landing, do you think those are legitimate questions? Do you think Greg McElroy has a point of, hey, it's been a while since we've been not to the moon, as Artemis is headed back into it'll be back on Earth today. They went to the moon, but they didn't land on the moon.
They went around it, way better.
With the way technology is now, why back then were we able to pull it off, and why is it taking so long to make it happen again?
Well, you have to remember you just needed power, and it was mainly for steering and for survivability as far as oxygen and lighting. So you didn't need that much. You really didn't need that much computing power, because remember, all you had to do was to get in the orbit and then slingshot around the moon and come back. So you have to remember, it was really rudimentary.
Well, I'm talking about the moon landing in the 60s.
Yeah, I'm talking about the same darn thing.
Okay, so you think that it didn't take that much for us to land on the moon back then?
Well, it took a lot to land on the moon. It took everything we had. As a matter
I feel
of
like
fact,
he's all over the road.
No, as a matter of fact, it practically bankrupted the country, and we did not know about that. That's why they scrapped the Apollo program, because it was too expensive, and because they had fulfilled what John F. Kennedy said about putting a man on the moon by the end of the decade. And after that, there was really nothing else. And eventually, they were already moving on to the shuttle. They were already in development on that. So, guys, if you would, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah!
Tell me this. As the first astronaut steps on the moon and says, one step for mankind, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Yes.
Who's holding the camera? Who's on the moon recording this man get off the spaceship?
Okay, you do realize there was an arm. There was an arm with a camera on it.
An arm
That's been
with a
answered
camera.
100 times. Yes.
Do we have any pictures of that?
Yes. Go look it up.
So, like, nowadays, you're getting a selfie, like, you're on Snapchat. Like, hey, I'm on the moon, y'all. What y'all got going on?
Yeah, I mean, they thought of all those things, and
So,
those are mechanical things.
The capsule itself just had a big arm off to the side.
I'm not saying it had a giant 50-foot arm.
But it had something off to the side with the camera that was
able to transmit from the
recording.
Moon.
That was able to send a signal from the moon back to Earth back in the 60s when you didn't even have a color TV.
See, the same thing Greg McElroy said.
Yeah, okay, but see, you also have to remember that they were sending signals back before then. You know, you have to remember that, and the quality was not good. I mean, let's be honest, it was not good, but it was as good as we could get at the time.
So it wasn't HD. It wasn't 4K.
No, there was no 4K.
Hey,
and you know, astronauts, when asked, they would not put their hand on the Bible and swear that they had landed on the moon.
What?
People would approach them and say, "Put your hand on the Bible and swear that you've landed on the moon."
Okay, imagine this.
And they wouldn't do it, with the exception of one who said he was an atheist and didn't believe in all that stuff, and then got very sideways with the reporter after he asked the question.
Well, I mean, the big thing is, number one, you're probably sworn to secrecy as far as secrets and things that you know, because a lot of stuff that we have nowadays is from the technology of developing the Gemini and the Apollo missions. A lot, an awful lot, and it really moved us forward. But see, what you have to realize, let's say you guys, you made the program, okay? You're test fighter pilots, you're disciplined, and you get called in for that. You go through this rigorous training.
Yeah.
You give everything you've got. You put your life on the line, and then somebody comes back and says, "Did we get to the moon? We didn't get to the moon, did we?" I tell you what, I would take that guy out.
But this
Didn't Buzz Aldrin beat somebody up for?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I got a signed autograph book.
But this is 30 and 40 years later that they're asking these questions. So why is
we were
it
forced to believe that we landed on the moon for that time? So it's.
I'm not saying we didn't land on the moon.
But there is a possibility.
There is a possibility we didn't, and that it was for show, a show of strength. Which, by the way, I was not against, as we were in the race with foreign adversaries. Right. Everybody's trying to get to the moon.
So you're saying Russia didn't put the first man in space?
I don't know. Maybe not. But I'm saying, if you couldn't get to the moon, the second best thing to do would be to convince the other countries that you did, so you can flex those muscles and say, hey, we're light years ahead of you on space programs.
Yeah.
Well, Russia knew a lot of the technology that we were doing. They just weren't able to replicate it. Because, there were spies. There were many spies. There was so much going on back then that you guys don't know about, that I do. Yeah. Because I saw it on TV.
You saw it. You synced it.
I did.
I think we should do a radio bit where we send John Bird to the moon with Conrad.
That'd be fun.
Get a live check in about a week. Like, hey, y'all still up there?
Do you think we could do a simulcast with three-man front one day where we're on each other's airwaves and we have John Bird and Conrad go head-to-head in some sort of contest? Because those two have a very similar kind of role, if you will.
Yeah, I'm gonna take no.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think that.
You don't think they would do that? You don't think they'd team up with us for?
Absolutely.
With the stuff that they had, what they make him do?
No, it's Nah, man. Sometimes an idea should just stay an idea.
Really?
1,000%.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what you make me do.
Yeah,
what's
I don't want
mean,
to put that
where-
on Conrad.
Why is that a bad idea, though?
I don't think it's a bad idea. I know those guys, and it would get shut down right.
They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think corporate would sanction it.
They were, so were they just sticklers for like leave us
I mean,
alone?
You know, they would want. Nah, I just don't think it would happen.
What's up with these sports people, man?
I
Are
know,
Are
man.
you the only laid back sports person over there?
Maybe so. Maybe
You
so.
think we would be the ones walking around like all stiff and not wanting to work with people?
Nah, I mean, you know, it's all
We're the conservative news people. We're over here talking about serious things. You boys are over there talking about silly sports. And it's
no,
like
I just don't think they would approve.
that's fine.
It's respectful.
Whatever. I'll ask.
But that's why you
Conrad.
got me. That's why I don't play the.
Maybe
I don't
we'll
play the
just get
fence.
Conrad.
man,
Conrad will do it.
Listen to the man here.
Yeah, like
He won't steer you wrong.
But see, we can't get him to do any sort of stunts because he's super valuable, and
that is true. That is true.
you know,
And I'm getting older, man. So certain challenges and stuff is going to affect my health. So I got to start looking. I'm looking at the long haul. I'm looking for the
He's
next
looking
60
at
years.
the long game.
Yeah.
All right, let me do this. We'll come back on the other side. More of the line with Damian Mitchell in the house right after this. Hands in the air like you don't care. The Line Talk 99.5. Damian Mitchell in studio. Hanging out with us. Not talking sports, but talking conspiracies.
Yeah.
So we can go the moon landing. We can go 9/11. We can go JFK assassination.
See, JFK is the one I probably go to the most because even as I get older, the more it's so fascinating because it's like you're telling me out of all those people that were down there in Dallas on that day that nobody can pinpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the Zapruder film and it's like, well, a bullet's coming this way, head, sorry to be graphic, but, exposed one way. And it's like,
I saw that happen. I was 2.5 months old.
Damn, I was going to say, damn, John.
2.5 months old in the crib. I remember it. It burned in my brain.
Yeah, man.
You had to, and what was JFK doing? Two very important things: ending the Fed and
He was waving at people.
He was waving.
Oh, I'm sorry. You meant,
and he was trying to prevent Israel from having a nuclear weapon.
See,
so you got to ask yourself. Not saying who did it because I don't think we know, but I think when you're dealing with very important issues that are benefiting very powerful people.
Yeah,
they have their ways to dispose of you and stop you. And think about the presidents that have been shot, right? Controversial, big-time decision-making presidents, consequential presidents. Abraham Lincoln, JFK.
Wasn't William McKinley shot?
He was.
McKinley, Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump, all of them monumental, historic, probably, Mount Rushmore-esque, best of the best presidents, and they all were shot.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
What does that tell you? Joe Biden wasn't going to get shot. George Bush wasn't going to get shot. No. Bill Clinton wasn't going to get shot.
No.
Jimmy Carter. None of these presidents, as controversial as they were going to get shot because they were all going along with the status quo.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Bill Clinton's like, I'm busy.
Yeah, he had some other things. He had some other things to handle. But
he was down in Panama City a lot.
Yeah, he knew what Club La Vila was. But it's also it's just eye opening because the older I get, the more it's just like, okay, because I think because the fact we have so much access to things now and just how much information is just out there, that I think you have to raise the level of skepticism of. Because they always used to teach us, cite your sources and things like that as we were coming up. Yeah. And now we're blurring the lines. Yeah, we're blurring the lines of, okay, is this a credible source or, is this we're getting to the AI side of things of, okay, what actually happened? That it's the older we get, the more information that we're presented, it's everything has a level of skepticism.
The biggest obstacle for people is the fact that people aren't trained on how to decipher what's real and what's not, what's credible and what's not. And it's because, and I tell my kid this all the time, I was like, you're just growing up in a world where there's too much information because he gets confused on things. And he's like, I'm trying to understand this, or especially when it comes to politics and the news. And I'm like, you're just unfortunately being brought up in a generation where everybody is throwing information at you and there's only one truth.
Right.
And it's your job to dig through all of that and figure out which one is the truth when, 50% of it looks like the truth.
Right. It's difficult.
Very difficult.
It's difficult, man.
Well, thank you, buddy, for hanging out with us. Let's do it again. Whenever you feel like coming in.
I appreciate it,
buddy. Damian Mitchell, everybody.